Hey, how's it going, y'all? So, I've been wanting to make a series of videos for a long time, and I've been stuck in the house all week, and I've just been kind of in my own thoughts and everything. And I decided it's time to just go ahead and start making these videos. And I wanted to start with the first one, and this is for all the people out there who you're in a corporate job, uh, or you're just working somewhere where there's a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for here? You're working in a job and you want to question things, you want to challenge things, and you feel just stifled and not free to explore ideas, not free to take risk, not free to uh, kind of explore, you know. Uh, I was one of those people, and I worked for a job for a long time, for about 8 years, that fostered that environment, and then the last 8 years they didn't foster that environment, and it was hard to kind of rectify that. That's where the company went, and I finally saw it. And it was funny because I got into an argument with somebody that I'd known for a long time that worked there too, and we argued that, like, they thought the company was still great, and I thought the company had changed to a point where it wasn't a good environment. And I'm gonna tell a story, and I love the story because it just shows my. Uh, I used to be very fearless at my job, and I used to just have no filter, both good and bad. I mean, there was a point in my career, I want to say like pre 2006 or so, that I was very much a numbers person, driven by results, driven by like whatever I had to do to get those numbers and the results and to win. I was very competitive, and I didn't always treat my team the best. And then I left for an internship in the middle of college and went to work somewhere else, and uh, learned a lot of what not to do. So, anyway, back to this story. So, uh, I'm very analytical, and that was the last position I held in a corporate job, was operations analyst. And I I could look at numbers very quickly and just kind of like dive into them and see a lot of things right away. A lot of things that most other people don't see, at least right away. So we had a visit from the CEO of the company, and I was ready to go. I had all the numbers ready, like the store looked good. And the CEO came in, and we had made a change to some merchandise in the store. I'm trying to be as vague as possible here so I don't tip my hand and say where this is at. But we had changed merchandise display in the store, and it was not to spec at all. But the thing is, too, the store was not to spec at all. Like, there was maybe 5 of this store in the entire company. The layout was weird. All the fixtures were very different. In fact, the display that we had, no, like, I think maybe like a handful of stores had, maybe like 2 to 5 had. So, like, we couldn't necessarily do it to spec. You know what I'm saying? The CEO comes in, and you don't get to CEO by being an idiot. Like, they saw right away that something was off. So they asked me to walk them through it, and I walked them through it. I was very open and honest. I said we couldn't do it. There's no way. Like, something was going to be off. So we made some decisions that were based off of our results. Like, this is what a customer is shopping for. This is what we sold the best of. And this is how they were shopping it. So we did it that way. We didn't do it on our own at the store level. It had gone through our district manager, it had gone through our regional. Like, there were some people that had signed off on this, and I thought everything was copacetic. And basically, the CEO told me that they don't care what the numbers say, because the numbers said it. Like, we had made the change at one point, and our numbers in this department I mean, nosedived. It was so bad. Like, I mean, within 3 weeks, I think we had dropped by 40%. And it was something that, like, even the home office had called us about to see, like, what was going on. We told them, like, hey, we made this change and, like, it doesn't really work with the way it's set up. So we took pictures, sent it to them, and they were like, well, just go back to the way y'all were doing it because we can't have this drop. Like, you know, we're losing money, so let's make the change. And so, anyway, the point of the story is at this point is that we had noticed it and made a change at the store level. Our DM and regional had agreed with the assessment, and the analysts and the buyers at our home office had also noticed the results and said, hey, let's change it back because this doesn't make any sense. But the CEO had come in and it didn't matter what the results were. One, they hated being told no. And two, they were that type of person that they just wanted to be right. Like, it didn't matter if you had the numbers to back you up, and the numbers are facts at this point. Like, there's no arguing with the numbers, and that's what we've always heard is, like, you can't argue with the results, you can't argue with the numbers. And the CEO had decided that that didn't matter. So after the visit was over, I remember I got a call from my boss, and actually, no, I didn't get a call. Our regional, who I knew very well, and I'm still, like, cool with to this day, pulled me aside and they shook their head, and they were just like, Robbie, no. They were just like, no. And, like, I knew then that, like, I knew I hadn't done anything wrong. Let's put it that way. But I'm not built just to, like, blindly go along. And some people call it playing the game. I'm not good at the corporate game. Never have. Like, it's kind of why I washed out. Like, it's just, I don't fit in it. And it's why I run my own business now. I have a hard time just blindly going along when I know something isn't right. And there's more that goes into it. I spend a lot of time protecting my teams unnecessarily from just idiotic rules. And it wasn't even the rules, it's just that we started to enforce the rules to a degree that were unnecessary. The corporate culture changed, and everybody was pretty much required to have a paper trail, like, no matter what, just in case they felt they wanted to get rid of you. And that kind of, like, sums up how the culture changed and, like, why I had this interaction with the CEO. And yeah, I'm using this as a lesson for people, because if you are in similar situations and that is the company culture, it really does start from the top. When you start running into stuff like that all the time, it's because that's what the CEO wants. Like, the CEO is treating their VPs, and they're treating their directors, and then they're treating, their areas, operations, staff, and stuff like that. So I'm just using this as an opportunity to encourage you. If you're good at playing the game, like, there is no knock on you at all. Like, go play that game, go get paid. You will have a very comfortable life. You can be very happy doing it. But there are a lot of people out there who just don't play the game. Like, it's hard for them, and it was hard for me. Like, I just don't have that ability to filter myself, and it runs in the family, no surprise. But if you are that person, like, I highly encourage you to find something that offers you creative freedom, is a good way to put it. No matter what it is, like, you could be reselling stuff, you could be making candles, you could be a graphic designer. But I highly encourage you, if you're that person that you're early in your career and you already find yourself struggling with that corporate environment, and I just really encourage you to start now. Like, don't just make the leap and go try something different. Like, try building something in your off time. Try building something in your on your weekends. Try try starting something and seeing where it develops, because when I first started doing what I'm doing now, I started while I was still a district manager for a retailer, and because I was traveling and stuff, I had opportunity to just kind of like, I had a lot of off time. I was traveling, wasn't with anybody I knew, so I started exploring this new thing that I've been doing for the last 6 years. And once I got laid off, I kind of just dove headfirst into it, and it's been building ever since. Um, it's paying my bills now. I'm able to save money, but it took a lot of time. It took 6 years to get to this point. It took a lot of support and a lot of help. And I highly encourage you that if you are that person, and you just feel it down in your gut that this is not the right thing for you, to start exploring something now that will offer you the freedom to take risk and to explore and to be creative, and to not answer to somebody else. And a lot of this right now is still fresh for me, because I was talking to somebody on an online forum, and like, they were where I was at 6, 7 years ago. They're getting back into corporate life. Like, they want to get out of it. Like, they're asking me so many questions, and like, I definitely gave them as much advice as I could. But I really hope that they and you find that thing that you can do that's going to allow you the freedom to just kind of get out of that environment. That's it. Let me know what you think. I'm very open to hearing about if this is something that resonated with a lot of people, if this is something that you want to hear more about. I'm not an expert by any means. I'm basing this solely off of my own personal experiences and experiences of people close to me that I've seen. So, yeah, I'll talk to you later.